Last of Us game stream.
Saw something.
To be honest,
Look, it's them! In that house!
no idea where I left off. Well, now I do kind of. So, gonna get screwed here. Ha! Fail at that. What? I got 2 by 1 shot.
Drop him! You're gonna die, fucker! What the fuck's going on? Got the keys. Let's go. Get in.
Let's go for a drive. And welcome to the stream. Just started a minute ago. A little bit later than I was expecting.
Come on.
Jesse, get us the fuck out of here!
I'm trying.
Jesse!
You don't mess with my friend.
Watch out! Get the tires!
Hang on.
Go, go!
Keep him off us. I need a clear shot.
Keep it steady! No! Fuck!
Ellie, take out the driver.
No!
Hello, Leonardo. I'm doing my best to do some killing. Medal, Leute.
Go, go!
You gotta be kidding. Come on.
Oh my god!
Oh, screw you. Alright, didn't see that one coming. Swimming with corpses, that's how we do it. Almost like my summertime skinny dipping. This looks like exactly that. Except I'm no young girl anymore. So how are you guys doing? It's fine. Friday evening.
You okay?
Never better.
Okay. I think we're in the clear. Here, come on.
Oh, thanks.
This way. Dina! Oh my God. Jesse.
Hey, Dina.
Oh. Hey. You okay?
Nothing a little sleep won't take care of.
We should get inside. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Easy. How'd you get past Maria?
I had to sneak out. Friends' problems are my problems. I heard you're sick.
Oh, it's just a stomach thing. Come on. Let's sit you down, huh?
You don't need to do that.
Oh, shut up. So when'd you leave Jackson?
Day after you, there was bad snow when I crossed into Oregon. I've been doing 18-hour stretches for the past 2 weeks trying to catch you.
Huh?
Are you with me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Anyway, the silent treatment.
Leonardo, yeah, I
Man,
like this
I
one
forget my
more
own
than the
birthday
first
if you
one,
didn't
and I
mind me
really
when it
liked
was.
the first one. Like
You should just apologize
9
to
out of 10.
I just said. Okay, what's going on?
Nothing. Why?
I can tell when you're off.
Just got some stuff on my mind.
You let me know if you want to talk about it.
Okay.
The thing is,
Stragglers,
How many?
just a handful.
drama-wise, this game has been even more interesting than the first one. That is more bad feelings, and that's a good thing
You
in
wanna
my
give it a
books.
whirl?
Also, the graphics are a little better, obviously. Gameplay has improved. And I think these human enemies are more fascinating than just killing these zombie-like creatures.
Are you
So,
sure?
so the overall
I'm feeling
feeling is that
generous.
this is, in my opinion, after 10, 11 hours, this is a little bit better. Obviously, pretty much the same, so much, but also different.
See that sign there? Red one? Try hitting that. Good way to draw them out of wherever they're hiding. Loading yourself. Got to aim higher. Leave the bullet room to drop.
I see.
What exactly this wanted me to shoot?
Shit.
Make sure to compensate for the bullet drop. Just take your time.
Now what did I... What I'm supposed to...
Get that road in your sights. Try hitting that sign. If you're feeling ambitious, see if you can get it in the middle of that O. Make sure to compensate for the bullet drop. There you go.
Sounds attracting them.
You're on patrol. Let's clear them out. There you go.
Gotcha. I like this thing.
2 left. You're a natural. That's all of them. Usually more over this way if you want to keep shooting.
Okay. Where are they coming from?
Hordes like to move through this area in winter. They always end up leaving behind a few stragglers.
They do the same routes every year?
Like a migration or something.
What's that about?
Well, when the barometric pressure reaches a certain temperature... Shit, I don't fucking know. Check out the shed. Looks like they're moving down here.
Why?
Dead end. Look up by the truck there. They're munching on that diesel.
Joni Kapina.
Guess they're hungry.
Can't say I know Joni Kapina.
What you think?
Beautiful. Spotting two still.
Am I supposed to know Joni Kapina?
Sound rolling now.
Oh.
You're really getting it.
Yes.
I'm impressed. Looks clear. Bet there's some this way. There's something by the ski lifts. Look way out there. Under those gondolas. By that tower. You see it? No rush.
Oh, come on.
Try again. Well done. A
Ha.
handful more.
Yeah. Not like.
Gonna have to tell Joel about this. A couple more out there. Yeah, I hope Joel's been stirring that stew. Probably just left it burning on the bottom.
And there you
Good
have
at
it.
killing shit, but he ain't good at cooking. Well, I'm not seeing any more.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. Let's head in. See if Joel's back.
Sure.
Hand her over.
Hey, thanks for that. It's just what
Gotta
I
say,
need.
in real life, I
Sure.
wouldn't shoot shit.
Ladies first.
I was really crappy shooter at
I'm not supposed
Army.
to say anything, but Joel's worried about you.
There's nothing to worry about.
Well, I'm sure there isn't. But if you don't talk to him, he's gonna think something's wrong.
I'd talk to him.
Well, you have to do more than hi and bye.
Okay, I will try.
That was y'all shooting up there, right?
Oh, just some stragglers. Ellie got to try out my scope.
Yeah, I think it's mandatory
that's
as
good.
before. Just shorter than during my time.
I see
And I
you've,
think the minimum service time is
hadn't got
6
around
months,
changing the string yet.
at least in the military.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Yeah, you'll, we'll get you some new ones.
Well, there's that music store down there. I bet they got guitar stuff. I mean, that area's long overdue for a sweep anyway. I'd keep watch.
What do you say, kiddo?
Sure.
And that's our cue.
Are you sure you don't want to come?
Get on now. He's waiting.
If you would ask Hank von Helvete from Turbo Necro, he would say he wants to come.
This lookout suddenly fascinating.
I'm just making sure I have everything.
Castle Observer, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Maybe you don't need any strength. Sounds just fine to me.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
You coming?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just picking some stuff here.
Hey, what's this Savage Starlight doing here?
Pretty sure that's Joel's.
Yeah, but I mean, that has been removed ages and ages ago. Now it was just removed even more, so to say, because of some international pressure.
Let's go.
All right. On me, kiddo.
That swastika logo was sort of a tribute to this Swedish
Just the few we saw
baron
from the
or
ridge.
something
You?
who
You know,
helped Finns
around
to
two
get those
runners and a
planes. So it was just basically thank you to this
on the group patrol.
Swedish person, nothing else.
You for paired patrols. Well, I think you're still a bit young for it.
I'm a better shot than almost all of them. And I have more experience than most of the new recruits
Look.
who've...
If you think you're ready, I trust you.
Okay. Thanks.
You just do me a favor and start with the shorter routes for now. You know, see how you handle them.
All right.
Hey, you remember those, Savage Starlight comic books that you're into?
Yeah?
Tommy and I found some when we were moving through that school the other day.
Did you like them?
Well, you know what? Not really my cup of tea, but... Dr. Daniela Starr, I mean, she's pretty...
She's a savage.
Well, what she does to Captain Ryan in that death match... Woo.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely deserved it, but...
That was a nice twist how they escaped, though.
You're funny.
Now this reminds me a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. Riding out in the nature. Just that Red Dead Redemption really beats this game to that because, well, open game world.
Music stores up that way.
And those game
Yeah.
did some shitting. These horses don't.
Trouble.
And they, you know, you could really make a bond
There's that music store.
with
Yeah, I
those
see it.
horses. You could, you know, change saddles. How they were braided.
Need a boost?
I got it. I don't think we can go this way.
What? Damn. Used to be able to swim across there.
To be honest, I have no
Okay,
clue
so
about.
now what?
Well, if you're up for it, we can try cutting through that hotel.
I'm up for it.
I don't really follow any of that RAC stuff. Not my cup of tea. You know what's curious about in Finland with those NSBM and RAC things is that the local, let's call them, it's not exactly Antifa, but local
Damn it.
left-wing activists are the
Well,
ones
that
that
might be something.
actually advertise the
You
gigs
think
more
you
than
can fit
anything.
in there?
Well, it's worth a shot.
Careful now.
Yep. I'm through. Hold on.
All right. See anything?
Hello,
Looking.
Cruentus. How are you doing? Goddamn conditioning. I mean, I stared at that soda machine and now suddenly I feel like a
Well, hello.
thirst for soda.
Howdy.
You impressed?
Nope. You're just too skinny. You need to eat more.
You're welcome.
I kind of wish games had this smell and sniff component. I've been talking it since, those 3D cards came out in late 90s
This
that
place
needs
is
to be
giving me
the
the creeps.
kind of a next step. Imagine if you could smell all the
I think I see
mold
a way
here.
through, but we got spores. Put
If you
your
could
mask on.
smell all the blood and
I
shit.
have to. It's just us.
What if we run into someone?
Okay, fine.
You gotta be smart about this. You stop wearing that mask, kiddo, and eventually you're gonna slip up in front of someone you shouldn't.
I've never slipped.
You ain't told nobody who, have you? Not Jesse, Dina.
Of course not.
Okay, good.
You ever been in here before?
You just patrol the streets. Feeling like a bit of an oversight now.
Maybe.
Creepy music. More bullets means more danger. Right?
kid was shot a while back.
When did the last patrol go through here?
I'm not sure.
Is it one of us?
Well, many people went missing from Jackson and teenagers from last year. This one's too old. Now it just roamed in.
Yeah, exactly. Who would left rifle bullets in the shower? Sometimes there is no logic in details. But then again, it might be just, sort of a random generated thing. But yeah, you still will spot some random funny things. I don't know if it can be transmitted sexually, but it seems Ellie is immune. Maybe Krantus, maybe it was a guy from Shining or Forgotten Tomb. Some depressive black metal, suicidal black metal type. It would be Dina. I mean, if it was Dino, it would be,
This way.
male name. Dino being a male name, for example, in Italy or something like that.
Come here.
Alright, we have some bookies outside. We need more Vietnam games. I would like to have Vietnam War games with the same mentality.
Let's take him out.
All this sneaking around.
More infected! Get ready!
Yeah, but I don't know if even COD is the same kind of thing like Vietnam War. But do you remember those Viet Cong games, especially the first one? It doesn't have to be stealth game. The point is bring back the kind of a Vietnam stuff. And this came to my mind when I was saying, these boogies outside. Because Viet Cong, that was some politically incorrect game. They really used those same kind of names about the Viet Cong
Over here!
fighters as they basically use in the movies. They didn't talk about those enemies nicely. And that's the basic psychology in criminals and self-defense and stuff like that. Because there's nothing, politically correct or shit like that when we're talking about real life situations.
Second floor! There's a clicker! To the left! More of them!
Oh, fuck that clicker. Ah, come on! I tried to avoid, but Viet Cong, man, it was really brutal. I mean, the language, the style, it was like playing
Here
in a...
comes some more! Yeah.
Joel, I think we did it.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, even COD games are gameplay-wise
What do you say
really
we get
good.
back on those strings for
They're
today?
kind of like too nice
Said it better
when you
myself.
compare that to, you know,
I
these
think our only way out is forward now.
Vietnam games and stuff like that. I mean, Vietnam movies, I mean. I mean, I'm talking about games, movies like Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, Apocalypse Now, Casualties of War. They are so much more brutal and realistic than, you know, how the games are portrayed. Games might have violence, which grants them being R-rated or 18 in Europe. But really, what misses is that they're kind of like socially and psychologically, they're not that brutal, really. That's my point, Cosmic. But you can do that kind of stuff in movies. And yeah, America alone owes China so much money and all that stuff. So, of course, you have to pay the piper if you wanna
It looks like it might be something.
survive the Chinese domination in this world, obviously. You have to listen to what they say. Well, to be honest, if you took a look at the Vietnam War documentary, for example, which was, in my opinion, a very neutral one and very great documentary series, it kind of made the point that it's not. All right, got some action.
Come on!
Or do we actually have a stupid boss fight here? Oh, come on. No, I haven't listened to Votana. Somebody just ask me that. But yeah, Viet Cong were not exactly the bad guys of the whole deal. Basically, the whole Vietnam War was a fiasco because Americans made so many mistakes. This is so stupid, like this one hit fights. Yeah, well, I've always liked Satanic Warmaster's style. You know,
Sure.
like he understands about good
But we
music
fucking
and
did
all
hit.
that stuff. Though his taste is way more
Sure did.
melodic
You
than
good?
what I do. For example,
You know, than being really old.
he liked my
Ain't nothing
earlier
solid
band,
enough to sleep on
Nightside,
top.
which was
I want to get out of
very
here.
melodic black metal. But he doesn't really, for example, like my later band because it's, I guess, too raw or something. Maybe just too crappy in his opinion. But I've learned in general,
What are you doing?
Lauri of Satanic Warmaster really likes
What if there's like two
kind of a
boners back
melodic black metal.
It'll be fine.
So as such, it's no wonder if he likes so many Norwegian bands from the 90s that made so much
Swear
more
clear.
melodic stuff. Well, yeah, I doubt he
Like
would
to
ever
fight
want to
back
do
there,
that.
huh?
He isn't a
How
fan of
often we gonna blaze
Annihilators.
around these parts?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he was cool to do, for example, something with Nightside, because he told me that he would like to, he would wanted to release Nightside on his label. And it seems like he was a little bit disappointed that
Jesse and Dina are gonna lose their shit when they
we
hear
went
about this.
to
Let's deal with them two anyway.
Gold
There you go,
Verex.
right?
Hey,
on and
Jim,
off.
this is my
Why?
stuff.
I hear the way Jesse talks about you.
No, Jesse and I are just friends.
And meanwhile,
Got a pretty keen eye for these
I am personally all
Not
in
so
for
keen
all
with this
kind of
one.
collaboration and splits and whatever, because I
Oh,
think
hold your
they're cool things to do. 1389. No, I didn't. I don't even seem to recognize the name. I personally prefer doing splits and collaborations with the people you actually know, because I've read so many stories about people doing splits with people they don't have clue about, just because some label suggested like, hey, you should do split. I don't remember which band it was. It was some Finnish band, Asagal maybe, or maybe some other band. Which when I asked like, why did you do split with this and that band, the answer was pretty much because the label suggested us that band, and I was like, okay, so you don't know these guys? No, we don't know those guys. And like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing a split like that. But that's just me. I mean, some people just wanna get things going, and sometimes it means a lot of compromises.
You think you can squeeze through there?
So, for example, Annihilate split with Bloodhammer and Musta Surma.
See what it is?
It was natural thing to do
Yeah.
because I knew the guys from both bands. Not all the guys, but anyway.
Ellie!
Oh, glad to hear that you like it.
Thanks.
I was happy about it because we managed to do that collaboration song even. So, I was doing vocals and
I
stuff,
think
and
it's them.
other guys were doing different
A
instruments.
couple that ran away last year.
So that kind of collaborations I like the most. When you have like different bands doing their own music, but then again you also have this collaboration track.
I think you're right.
Jackson is a wonderful place, but we got tired of hearing the stories of people suffering everywhere else. We wanted to save lives. We had good intentions. We didn't make it an hour before running into a horde. Now we're bitten. We've decided we're gonna end our lives instead of turning.
Well, Annihilate is
Started
this
thinking our friends that were
war
sorry.
topics driven,
Adam and Sydney.
raw, simple. Well, you can call it black metal if you want to, but
I shudder.
purists never would
I can't
call
take
it
my own
black
life in a
metal
fucking
because it
joke.
doesn't have satanic lyrics. But I guess simple black metal would do.
Only they were immune, right?
Well, it's
Yes, casual observer,
go
that's
get
the thing.
Tommy and
No,
we'll get
no,
this
no,
body
nothing
back
to
to
do with
Jackson.
blasphemy. More mid-tempo, more raw, more
After you took me
primitive.
out of the Firefly Hospital,
For example, the newest album,
you said there were
Death
dozens of
from
people like
Above,
me.
was mostly compared to Dark Throne and Celtic Frost.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
that's what they told
I
me.
mean, different people hear different ideas.
I've never met another immune person before. Have you?
Blasphemy is
They could
more
be hiding.
death black,
You do.
chaotic, fast-paced, and all that stuff. Whereas Annihilators is more,
Do you believe that?
I guess, related to bands like Dark Throne, Celtic Frost, Ildiarn, Ball
Is
Thrower,
now really the time for this?
Judas Iscariot.
We traveled
Yeah,
across
definitely.
the entire
The
country
newer
looking
album
to
is
find
definitely
boys.
more towards
I
first
had
and
so
second
many
wave.
questions for them.
For example, some people heard more Dark
Why
Throne
did
in
you
that
pull me
album
out of there
than
while I was
Celtic
still
Frost,
unconscious?
whereas for myself, I felt it was more Celtic Frost
Because I
than
let them run
Dark
our
Throne.
tests. And when I saw that they were useless, I got us out of the...
How do you know they were useless? Maybe if you just would have given them more time, they could have figured something out.
There was no cure. There's nothing that could help these people or anybody else. I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. But they ain't. And we need to get these kids back to their families.
Well, Cosmic, given that I
Is there
do the
something else you'd like
riffs,
to rehash?
and I'm not a really big Beherit fan, I wouldn't say there was no intentional or even unintentional Beherit influence. But then again,
Good.
when we were doing this our third album, which is still in progress, for example, my drummer told me, or basically nicknamed one of the songs as Beherit. So its nickname is now Beherit, even though I'm not a big Beherit fan. But then again, I think my drummer actually is sort of a Beherit fan. So maybe he listens to it with a little bit different uh, mind than I do. Nachtkult. Sounds familiar, at least the name, but
Jesse's
not
passed
too
out.
familiar.
Hey, let me do that.
He's a good guy. Why didn't you tell him?
Wasn't the right time. There you go.
What about this? Anything worthwhile?
Actually, yeah.
Abby?
No. This girl, Nora, her unit was assigned to this hospital. They were collecting supplies or something.
This hospital?
Yeah.
Cosmic, what?
Wait, you're gonna go now?
We have a lead.
Like, at least just wait for Jessie to rest up.
She could be gone by then.
Ellie.
We know her location. Maybe Tommy does too.
A Zombo fuck flu. That sounds like a grindtastic song
What?
title.
Nothing.
Good. Can you come help me with the door, please?
Yep.
Right. If I follow Route 5, that should take me to the hospital. Follow Route 5. Track down Nora. Get her to tell me where Abby is.
By the way, tomorrow won't be any stream coming up because I'm gonna get to my friend's place and drink some booze. Gonna go to a bar for the first time since, I don't know, February, March, something like that. Don't know yet if I'm gonna get wasted, but at least it's time to get properly some sort of drunken state. Drunkenstein. What about you guys? Are you able and allowed to get into
Through.
bars?
Go through here.
Oh yeah, it's 4th of July. Fuck. I'm sorry for you guys. I know that it means a lot to you, at least many of you, to even know the date, 4th of July. I was in San Diego exactly 7 years ago, and there were some great fireworks on 4th of July. And the funny thing is, we didn't even know before. I mean, we didn't realize. We knew that what 4th of July is, but we didn't actually plan to do so that we would end up in a big city for 4th of July. But it was a kind of a happy thing because obviously big cities have bigger fireworks, and I gotta say it was the best fireworks I've ever seen. Oh, come on. Because it was so goddamn big. So it was really cool. So yeah, 7 years ago, fireworks in San Diego. And then we had some really great sushi afterwards. Yes, Leonardo, that's what I heard. My British friends or Rauta followers or whoever told me about that the pubs and bars will open on the 4th. So yeah, that's good for them. But too bad no Americans can just yet enjoy those bars and 4th of July celebrations. Because as much as I can remember, there were lots of people watching the fireworks in San Diego, and people were in general having a really good time. I don't know what would be the best place in the United States to celebrate the 4th of July, but I would imagine it's one of the bigger cities. That is, if you like fireworks and shit. DC, is there something special going on, or is it just because it's the capital city?
Okay, progress.
I could imagine it would be some kind of a Mount Rushmore stuff, for the 4th of July. Like, let's celebrate independence with our great presidents with those stone faces. By the way, have you been to Washington D.C.? Cosmic, that is, or anybody? If anybody has been to Cosmic, just take some smiley face on the chat. Hello, fuckface. Do you like it? I remember when I was in Dubai a few years ago. Man, that was a place of Ferraris and Lambos and Porsches and Rolls Royce and all those expensive cars. It was crazy. Yeah, I've been to DC once, and it felt like a really bureaucratic city. I mean, those government buildings just everywhere. And the similar feeling I got in Europe is Brussels. You just have those government or, well, European Union and whatever buildings just everywhere. It seems like every other person is sort of a politician or some kind of important decision maker, or their servant or something like that, like secretary, coffee maker, um, just whatever. And in Washington D.C., oh, Leonardo, why did you hate it? Because all the rich people? I mean, from tourist perspective, Dubai was quite nice, but I know it's totally superficial. Anyway, back to DC. I remember the coolest kind of a subway. What do you call them? Like the doors open to the left kind of thing. It was definitely in Washington D.C. It sounded like Ice-T or something was, you know, saying those lines. Like, door opens to the left, motherfucker, get out. And it was like so crazy. Next stop is Pentagon. Prepare to get shot. This unknown neighborhood for you white boys. So, I don't know, it was great. But then again, I gotta be this weird European rarity because I really can enjoy the sort of a gangster rap mentality, even though I'm a metalhead. Then again, I remember having this kind of a conversation with, I think it was Mikko Aspa a few years ago, when we were talking about the kind of a dangerous feelings, the kind of a street credibility feeling and all that stuff. I think it was Mikko Aspa who actually said pretty much the same, that he kind of has sort of a respect for this gangster rap stuff. I mean, as much as we can just dislike this lifestyle or whatever, these rappers or whoever has, at least you gotta give some respect or whatever to them having this more street lifestyle than most metalheads ever. I mean, compared to those guys who just had to go through all that stuff through, it seems like we are a bunch of pussies in Europe anyway, compared to those guys. We're just random dudes having this privilege stuff. And I'm not even talking about in a political sense. I'm just saying that, the funny thing is, if you take a look at the, for example, Norwegian black metal, they are all coming from rather nice families.
All right.
They don't have problems with, I don't know, school, work, money, economical situation. So it's like kids who got nice toys, kids who didn't have real problems compared that to the South American style. So it's all people from good background, and they end up creating some of the best black metal ever. The same applies obviously to Finnish bands as well, be it Satanic War Master or whoever, you know. So most black metal is coming, at least in Europe that is, most of the good black metal is coming from kids whose families are doing well. It might be a little bit ironic, but that's how it is.
The fuck?
Then again, if you take a look at the South American style, bands like Sarcophago or just in general, that South American, Latin American style, it's very, very different. And I bet their Catholic churches and stuff had way bigger impact on their lifestyle that European bands had. So it's kind of a funny that people try to make it kind of a racial point. Well, yeah, Castle Observer, it is like that. But my point here rather is that black metal is mostly the result of kids with rather good education, well doing families and shit, versus so many other musical styles which are coming from ghettos or slavery or some other shitty situation.
Damn it. There's some good stuff in there.
But obviously, it is like black metal is also kind of I'm wondering how to put it. It's not like these guys didn't have you know, problems, or they were not frustrated. Obviously, they were. Without it, um, black metal wouldn't have happened. So it's locked, but we gonna need to. We gonna get out. What good is that going to do for me? Nothing. What's the point with this? Yeah, I guess that's true. So now I'm wondering where to take this rope. Can Can we actually use this to swing? Yeah. That doesn't look like it's gonna do me any good. Lol.
Alright, what do we got?
And now we got in. Do I like well-produced black metal or just the raw stuff? Well, I do like both. There are lots of good examples of more well-produced black metal, which I like. It could be something like, latest Dimmu Borgir. It could be some of the Mayhem albums or some Dark Funeral ones. So I definitely don't mind if a production is really good. Well, yeah, even Dimmu. I mean, I like the latest Dimmu Borgir album because it reminds me of Therion. And Therion is really great band. I am not surprised if so many people dislike Dimmu Borgir. Oh, that's a good thing because I really like the latest one. But I mean, I don't care if the production is raw or is it some well produced, as long as it's not sterile in style, the kind of a plastic stuff. So you really can have really great production and not sound lame if you know what you're doing. A really good example, in my opinion, is with many death metal bands. For example, let's talk about this latest Vader album, or Vade albums, which I actually reviewed today. Will be out in 2 weeks though, and it has great production. It's really powerful and supporting the music really, really well. And I think that matters. If it suits the music, if it supports whatever you're doing, then it is good. So yeah, good music is good music. Doesn't matter if it's raw or not. And that's why so many
And there we go.
old demo material by so many bands, people are still enjoying it no matter if the production is crappy, because the good music is what matters. So coming from strong death metal and thrash metal background, I totally can enjoy real good production. But obviously there are bands that have crappy production, but their music is so good that you can pretty much turn a blind eye to this kind of a weaker production. Hello, GD. Nice to have you here once again. Yes, Dawson, I think they have remained very true to their style, and that's a good thing. They have also evolved. I mean, Dimmu Borgir definitely has or had some laughable things. Like I remember still back in 2008 or something like that when they had this T-shirt back print saying like "Religion sickens me," and I'm like, that must be the lamest black metal back print on a shirt I've ever seen. So religion sickens you. Oh, how horrible! Like, come on. Yes, Mark. Beta review. Uh, I originally requested Nuclear Blast for Paradise Lost, Vader, and Testament albums, but due to coronavirus, nothing was basically moving in April and May. But today, I was actually hand delivered to the door by the post office person that Paradise Lost, which is great by the way, Testament, which is also great, and Vader, which is also great, came today here, and I'm really happy to get them reviewed. First of all, I want them to my collection, and so this way I'm happy. I don't have to buy them. I get them because I review them. But more so, I guess I'm happy that I actually got those copies for review, so I can really do the video review about them and tell them why they are so good in my opinion. Well, I'm a long time Paradise Lost fan. I really don't mind that much the old stuff. I mean, they have their moments, but they're really not my cup of tea anymore. I mean, I used to like Paradise Lost in the early 90s, mid 90s. Then I got fed up with the whole band because it was too soft for me. This is something that I actually explained in my Paradise Lost video earlier. But anyway, the point kind of remains the same. I refound Paradise Lost after some 10 years break, and I love their newer material because it's more mature, it's darker. So yeah, new Paradise Lost is doing the trick for me. Not the best by them, but definitely a good one. Now this was an alarm system of sorts. Do we have some creepy ones here? Nothing is exactly moving. Well, those are both good albums, but those are the ones which I started listening in the 90s. You know, when I found Paradise Lost in 1993. But later on, I started to like their even more darker style. Namely, I would say In Requiem is, in my opinion, probably the most powerful Paradise Lost album. It's heavy, it's dark, and sort of full of misery. And I also like nowadays 1 second, which I probably couldn't have stand. Probably couldn't have stood the album back in the 90s. So yeah, I'm a Paradise Lost fan, and I was a little bit disappointed in Medusa, but this new album is, in my opinion, better. Yes, in Requiem it is very good. Armageddon is good, but not my album of the year contender. Uh, People, now that you are here talking about music and talking about the albums of the year, do you think I should make a video about the best albums so far, like the first 6 months. Because some people were asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know if it makes sense. But if there is a demand or need for it, I could do that. I think Lost Paradise is the worst.
Supplies.
Worst. Definitely the worst Paradise Lost album ever. The drumming is horrible and the songs are really boring. Gothic then again is a big notch up from that, but the drumming is so bad on Gothic that I really can't even stand that anymore. Mark, of course not only black metal, but my all-time favorites this year. That's the point. Because I have like 10, 12 albums which I would see as good ones, which went to my collection this year. And I could talk about them briefly and link the actual reviews to them. So I could do a video about that if people are curious. And then obviously by the end of the year do a real albums of the year stuff. Just when I was about to
Isaac can go to hell!
We're not going!
Oh my god!
kill, kill, kill. Then I die. Shades of God is definitely better production. Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta stop, Doctor! Right here! We're not going back!
Let's do some traps here. Fuck you.
Drop them shit! What do you want? I heard that!
Shit.
Yeah, you hear me? Phone! You better start running. There you are!
Let's fool this guy. Come to the trap. I have the trap for you.
I know you're out there. Nice try!
Let's see if we can make this guy follow us. to the trap. Go to the trap. No, go to the trap. Why don't you go to the trap?
All right, just take it easy. Just take it easy.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you with your easiness.
Don't do this.
Well, I mean, of course, all the past ages when you're young and all that shit. Of course, it's great. But I mean, I still don't miss those days. It was fun, you know, being a virgin, finding all those new bands, and, you know, everything feels fresh. But that's just nostalgia speaking. That's not like where you wouldn't want to be. I mean, it's cool to say, yeah, it would be nice to find those bands like Burzum and Mayhem and shit like that when they were still new and young. Yeah, sure. But does it really matter if you actually found them later on? I mean, does it really matter? Because if the music is good, it's good nevertheless. So I don't think it really matters. I mean, I'm more into the 80s style because that's when I spent my youth. I mean, obviously, it was fun to read, you know, interviews like about Burzum in some, I don't know, Metal Hammer or Kerrang. I don't even remember what it was. But I don't want to relive those days. They were good. But nowadays we have even better stuff going on.
Could be good.
Alright, we have some new ways to oh yeah, explosive arrows. But 80s is when all the real cool original stuff came, you know, first death metal bands, first thrash metal bands, first black metal bands. Maybe not the first doom metal bands, but still, I mean, that was the pioneer time. But still, I think it's a lot to do with nostalgia when we're talking about these times. That's true, Cosmic. Yes, that's my point. The techniques is here. We have internet, we have massive libraries, we have metal archives and stuff, and we don't have to send those tapes back and forth and hope they're not lost in the mail and beg for some stamps to send back. So I think so much stuff is better nowadays. I mean, obviously people don't value finding new bands so much nowadays than what it was back in the days because everything is just one click away. But I don't think it has nothing to do with the quality of music. I mean, good music sticks. Good music is something that you either stream for hours and hours or you still buy them on CDs or LPs, etc. And yeah, like somebody said, I don't see the name in the comment anymore because this is scrolling so fast. But nowadays you can pretty much get the music to be heard if you read or listen to a review. Nowadays you would have to wait for months. Leonardo, what's your point being about Niklas Quartforth? I mean, I know he's a sort of a douchebag, and I know he's a drug addict and all, but what's your point? Gotta reload these guns before it's once again too late. Alright, let's get these upgrades. So still I was saying about Paradise Lost that I think they have been doing very consistent and very solid discography throughout the years. So at least I'm enjoying them a lot. And to Testament, I've never been a Testament fan really, but I mean their stuff has been okay to me. But now this new album, I think it sounded really solid. Same can be said about. Oh god damn! I should have used this instead. No, well, too late now. And the new Vader album, really strong. So really happy about those 3 albums that came this way today. And now I have 2 more parcels in the post office to be picked up, which I guess I will pick tomorrow when I'm heading for the gym before I'm getting to have those drinks with my friends and getting wasted or something.
Be more careful.
And in the queue, 157 albums. So it's like I got plenty of do and I'm on vacation now. So oh come on, Ellie. You can do better than that. So I'm gonna be having a sort of a
for following the street.
pause with the reviews because of my vacation, but yep, next 2 weeks it's already done. Exactly, I have menopause every day for each day of my life. You're such a good comedian, Cosmic. But anyway, videos are more or less done for next 2 weeks, so nothing's gonna change from your perspective, even though I will be having this break. What's a sabbatical? If it means listening on Black Sabbath, no. Oh, yet another combination. Could it be here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some good shit. But. Do we have some codes here? Waiting date. Yeah, baby. That's a good question, Casual Observer. I think one band would be Enslaved. Also, in terms of consistency throughout the years, I guess in thrash metal, I would say Anthrax and Slayer. But the last 50 years, I don't know if there's any band that has had good consistency like that. For example, Dark Throne changed too much, even though I love their albums the most. Um, I think Leonardo, they're just for, basically you just collect them for, I don't know, trophies or whatever. So far, at least I haven't found any use for them. I'm just guessing, but I guess they must be for trophies and such. I haven't Googled it because I don't really care. So I'm just merely assuming. I guess that's one more building down. But about those other genres being consistent with their style, I don't think. Well, Marduk, I guess, would be of the black metal bands being very consistent and
Get in there.
not changing their style. So that could be of the black metal bands, even though I don't even like Marduk that much. I mean, most albums are not that great in my opinion. But I mean, it's a band that I can totally enjoy throughout the career. But right out of the bat, I really can't think about more names at the moment. Hey, maybe we can climb here. Woohoo.
All right.
Yeah, I think Frontschwein went for a better direction. than so many previous ones. I think Marduk kind of had a not so good phase there between some of the albums. I really can't even remember at which part I started to feel that they were losing their grasp. I think it was sometime when Legion left the band and Mortus took over. Well, exactly, Cosmic. I mean, it seems like it's repeating itself way too much. Yeah, Gen X might be true. There's something in there. Could I just grab it? And there you have it. I really didn't get into the latest Revenge album. For me, it seems like too much repeating the same pattern. But hey, it's just me. Yeah, he did have good style. But in general, I think Marduk has been very. Hello, Nico. But I think in general, Marduk has been doing the right stuff. But there are some weaker ones. But then again, which discography does it? I mean, Enslaved is one of my favorite bands, and they have weaker albums like Mardraum and okay, is this a puzzle that I need to go taking those chains and these will just automatically Sweet. My example is that Mardraum isn't that great, nor is Monumension or Isa, stuff like that. But still, I mean, I like old Enslaved and I like the newer ones. Even newer ones even more. So once again. So I think these kind of bands have done it. Anthrax as well, I mean, they had weaker points, but still overall really cool. Nico, what do you mean? What do you mean what I have in my glass? Because I have nothing but water today in my glass. Well, Gen X, I guess I'm happy that you can enjoy them, but I find Monumension and Martraum and Isa and those albums not too fascinating.
Fuck. Thought I'd be closer.
I think they kind of started to lose after Eld, at least with Blodhemmen. I think Enslaved started to go into the wrong direction. Oh fuck, it's already so goddamn late. I'm gonna be bouncing in about 30 minutes. I haven't heard about books called And Justice for Art. What's it all about? Sounds like some Metallica related name, but Bloodhaven is pretty cool, but nowhere near as well as you know, Eld or Frost. That's in my opinion anyway. Not to mention albums later on. I think Rune kind of reignited my passion for Enslaved. Because for a while, for many years, I thought Enslaved had gone into the direction that I wouldn't like it anymore. Because there were like 4 or 5 albums in a row that really didn't get my choices going. And suddenly with Rune being out there and some other albums after that, I started to really enjoy it. Axioma, Rune, Vertebrae. Well, Leonardo, I think it's kind of typical for most black metal fans, because I mean, Frost is the most kind of a Nordic black metal sounding album of all Enslaved production. I mean, all their discography, Frost is the one that sounds most like other Norwegian bands. But for me, I mean, I like with Rune and stuff like that, Vertebra, Axioma, Ethicodini, and well, all the albums basically since then. I've really enjoyed them because they have this kind of a weird progressive metal combination, which still flirts with extreme metal. Come on now, I don't have a
Nice.
bottle anymore. But I'd totally get if some people don't like Enslaved except maybe first couple of albums. I mean, I found the band around Frost, so obviously I was expecting more like that to come out. With Enslaved later on. But basically never happened. Anyway, it's just a good example of band which is very consistent in quality, even if the style changed. Oh, Mark, that sounds like a great book. Sounds really like interesting pair of books.
Ugh, stinks in here.
Remember when I was saying that games should have this stink machine, this kind of a smelly option. Imagine how much fun it would be, like you could smell the death. I'm pretty sure there is some kind of surprise here waiting for me.
Oh.
Just behind the corner. Just waiting to give me this kind of a
Serves you right.
jump scare moment. And I bet you're waiting for that kind of moment as well. You want me to go, "Ah!"
Shit.
Like I was saying.
Fuck me.
Oh. Of course the flashlight is going off. So no backing. Like I said, there was this jump scare moment to be expected. Which way it went? Let's assume this way. Oh, more monsters. More dark rooms.
He really got you.
Come here to daddy. Yeah, enslaved is strong. What else? Drop me names and I will tell you if they're good and with their consistency or lack of. I mean, I kinda hoped Dark Throne would be the band that would, you know, keep its style.
Great.
But never made it. Alright. Nah, come on. I hope that I could have thrown some.
Find a way out of here.
Come here. Come. No.
Shit. How do I get outside?
Creepy place. Boom. What was the last good Dark Throne album for me? Let me think, because this really needs to be thought. It was probably some 10 years ago already. But now I'm confusing some of the albums quite possibly. Like, was it Circle the Wagons or Dark Thrones and Black Flags, which I liked? Mark, I have really enjoyed the game. More than the first one. And I liked the first one very much. Oh, so many rooms. Seems like an endless nightmare.
These fuckers are quiet.
So I don't care what the reviews say. This has been very, very enjoyable. Ha ha! Gotcha, motherfucker! Alright, nasty motherfuckers. Yes, this is PS exclusive because it's a Sony owned studio. Whoa, it almost cut me. Yeah, so these games are done by Naughty Dog, which is a studio that Sony owns, and as such, these are PS4 or PS3 only. These kind of games are usually called system sellers. I mean, they're the kind of games that makes people buy the game console because they're so good and, well, exclusive. It's like good albums that makes people buy vinyl player because some albums are not available on CD or there's something special going on with the vinyl versions. Imagine it like that. Me, then again, I don't want to be the one who misses out on good games. So I end up owning multiple game consoles. So I have Xbox, I have Nintendo, I have PS4 and all that stuff. Well, the price is already pretty much like that in Finland. Obviously, second-hand things, second-hand games are very much still happening. So I don't know if it will be that much different. Hey, fucker. I can see you, fucker. Ha ha, motherfucker. Gotta say, these motherfuckers are giving me the creeps. I kinda can almost. Burn, burn, burn. In a ring of fire. In a ring of fire. Well, luckily they are weak as fuck. I mean, because they are kind of a hiding type and they're fast. I don't know, but it's cool if they did. Man, Master was supposed to play a gig in my home city a few months back, but they got cancelled. I would have interviewed those guys. I mean, what a classic band. I'm just gonna not look it up in the middle of gaming. I think metal bands covering non-metal music makes much more sense than metal bands covering metal music. So I think it's a brave move and it's more interesting. Because let me put it this way. When a black metal band covers, say, another black metal band like Darkthrone, it's pretty much guaranteed to be weaker version. You don't need to go farther than just listen to that Bathory cover album from the 90s, and there were a bunch of great bands doing those covers, you know, Emperor and Satyricon and all that stuff. And they almost all of them sound weaker than Bathory originals. And the same thing apply in many other styles. I mean, if a death metal band decides to cover death, it's pretty much given that they will make a weaker version of the original one. There are a few exceptions, like I remember liking a lot when Cannibal Corpse decided to cover Possessed song. But those are rarities, they're like exceptions to the rule. So in my opinion, metal bands covering metal bands, especially if they're coming from the same genre, it rarely makes any sense at all. They will either fail miserably or, at the best case scenario, the cover ends up being good, but it is better than their own tracks, which then again makes that cover song stand out from their own material. So I think metal bands should be brave and
Where's the hospital?
cover non-metal bands. That's just me saying it, but I think that's the best thing. Like today when I was reading about Water for the review, I learned that they had covered Depeche Mode. I don't know if they made a good cover, but at least it makes it way more interesting. And for example, Slayer did some good covers with non-metal. Non-metal track. You know, that Iron Butterfly song, Inagada de Vida. So in general, I think metal bands should do non-metal covers exclusively.
Okay. Head down to the street.
Alright, we have more assholes coming soon. And I gotta be going soon. I should basically pause this game really soon. And I think Metallica did great service to bands like Diamond Head. This screams like some, I don't know, some Bethlehem singer. I haven't heard even that Metallica's cover. Fuck, I'm running out of ammo with these guns. Once again. And I love what Rammstein tried to do with the Depeche Mode cover. Too bad it didn't end up being as good as I hoped it to be.
Okay. Time to go. There's gotta be a way out of here.
What song Metallica did cover, by the way, from Celtic Frost, that is? Because I have no clue. And one more question, guys, before I go soon. I don't know if you noticed that I was saying that I will restart my old
Here we go.
YouTube channel, which is supposed to be... Alright. Alright, thanks for letting me know. Bet these motherfuckers can't swim. Kill, kill, kill. I think this is a perfect spot to end the stream when I survive this piece of action. So anyway, will you be interested in joining the other channel or subbing it or whatever when I get to it?
Fuck Seattle.
Or is it just no thanks? I don't want nothing but Rauta from you. Because I totally understand whatever your decision is. I'm just merely asking. Because I am pondering, for instance, moving this game streams. I haven't yet actually mentioned, because I used to run it under another name. It used to be Cherry Show, simply, after my boss. But anyway, now I renamed it. And I haven't created anything new for the channel. The older stuff, the newer stuff, I mean, is from 2019. So there's just a bunch of TV series reviews and nothing much else, because I hid all the Finnish material from that channel. But for the time being, at least, it's called Rauta Beyond. I was trying to figure a better name, but for now I didn't figure out better name. I was thinking of something like Rauta Beyond, Rauta Renegade, or whatever. The thing is, after this game is through, and when I'm gonna start new game, I think I will start streaming for that channel only. And also, I think I will put my workout videos for that on that channel, and also the other content. Yeah, I know it's goofy by intention. That was taken at the midsummer summer cabin trip. I was asked to fill her up, and there was this image of a beautiful lady riding that rubber swan or whatever. So I was asked to fill that up, and so I did. And I was like, okay, now that I've filled this swan, maybe we'll take a new profile picture. It's actually the same I have on Facebook. So, thank you, Casual Observer. Anyway, the point here is that I will all non-metal content on that channel in the future. I don't know even what it could mean. Movie reviews, maybe. TV show reviews, probably. Random opinion videos which are not related to metal, most likely. Workout videos, gaming stream, stuff like that. I will keep you updated both on YouTube side as well as Facebook when that actually gets active. As you already notice, the stuff is already quite old there, and I removed the Finnish only content there for now because it doesn't make any sense. It started as a Finnish channel because I figured originally that I would do Finnish content, and then I later on realized that I would actually start making it English as well. So that's why I changed the language, and now I decided to hide all the Finnish only stuff because having two languages there doesn't really make sense. Nico, it would be nice to see that what? Turkulainen. What do you mean? Yes, I'm Turkulainen, but what do you mean it would be nice to see what? There is a pathway up. Yes, Mark, I do work out. I started quite late, like being over 30 when I started. But for the past, 11 years or something like that, 12 I guess soon, I've been working out. Oh, Mark, I've been doing better since those days. But yeah, I guess I'm doing all right. Actually, tomorrow I have a
Get me the hell out of here.
next deadlift day. Anyway, I will inform you later on about that other channel, and I'm trying to figure out during my vacation when to start it and which content. But for example, some labels want to send me dungeon synth and other stuff, and I don't want to put it on Rauta anymore because it's not really metal, even though it's kind of a metal related, and all the other non-musical stuff is something that people have been requesting, like workout videos and whatever, and I don't feel like Rauta is the place for that, even though it kind of is. But for people who are only in for the music, I think it would be just better to have secondary channel for non-music stuff. Anyway, I will share details about that channel later on, and let's see how it will turn out. But now it seems it's too late for a kid like me because I have to wake up early in the morning.
Okay. You are here.
So this is a good cliffhanger spot for the game for now. Thank you for being here with me once again. Nice chats, nice questions, and all that stuff. Dudes, not gonna stream tomorrow, but most likely streaming on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And you two have a good night. It seems like I'm roughly halfway through with some 14 hours in, and this is supposedly some 25 to 30 hours overall length, so I guess I'm halfway through. And I hope that the next game will be Ghost of Tsushima, so let's see if that will actually happen in a couple of weeks when that game is out. I guess I need to pace up with this one. But we'll see about that later on. Take care. I will be drinking tomorrow, and I hope you will be enjoying some 4th of July drinks as well. Good night, mates. Take care, and be sure to check out tomorrow's Rauta video about Steelcase 2020 in case you just happen to be coming this way for some Finnish Black Metal Fest. There's a good lineup and some good promise that you will get refunded in case you cannot make it. So buy your ticket, book your hotels, book your flights, and check out that video. Now, bye bye and take care.